It's Week 14 of the 2023 season, and we'll see Jameis Winston as he's moved past 3,000 yards passing for the year and looking for more. It's the Saints and the Falcons on Monday night.
It is always a celebration here in the city of New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Superdome. Tonight, we culminate pivotal Week 14 with a great Monday night matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in losers of 2 straight.
And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come in playing reasonably well. Losers the last time out, but winners of 4 or 5 before that. Season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Jameis going to look to throw right away. Short little throw to Ebron. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The numbers from last week's game for Ebron. 8 catches, 108 for the yardage and the score, too.
And he's trying to prove the adage is not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. The first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting back as this game goes on.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. This is a pretty, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
Those are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, so get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first carry now. This is Williams. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On the counter, here's Williams. He'll take this to the 46. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 22 carries, 63 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost as if in his mind, he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here.
On second down, Williams. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man push the run early.
Running the counter, Patterson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Second and 9. Here's Mariota. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try to hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they're up to the challenge.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Now Mariota. Got Edwards now on the slant. Touchdown! Bryan Edwards, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
At it, each team has scored 7-7 here as the kick's away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball
leader, right?
to make a big play. Yeah. Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Jameis to throw it. James has got it. Complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. Here's Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Winston again. It's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Kamara, try to run for him. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 51 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Now Winston. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Winston now. And he comes back with one complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception, and that's going to make it fourth down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on fourth down on defense, I believe.
Here we go with Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Saints' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on fourth down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? Fourth and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Suck up for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. Pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team. Far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for. And remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that. And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. They'll give it to Patterson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 47 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Delay of game, offense.
Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Down, and they'll try to run the option left. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Offside.
With a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now, Falcon football. As they've got it with a first down coming up. Mariota now. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pete Werner. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they went standard nickel. Now the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just want to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did. It came through a big-time pick six.
Extra point put through by Saka, and it's now 21-7. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Well, in the process of that kick return, it appears we had an injury. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Beginning on the ground with Patterson. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. Mariota so nimble, sliding to the ground with a first down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Straight ahead, Patterson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Falcons at 7-5 now in the year. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
I don't don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now Mariota. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Now Williams running left. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They run it again with Williams. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. They run. It's Williams. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Deep in the red zone, seemed like they had their mind made up that that was 4-down territory, and now they've got it inside the 5.
I like the way you looked at that because you're thinking just like a play caller and a head coach who gave the play caller that authority. It was 4-down territory. They went for it, picked it up. They didn't get the touchdown, but what a great consolation prize. A new set of downs and another shot at the end zone.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. This is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Damian Williams from a yard out. And the Falcons are back within a score. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Coup for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Winston now to throw on first down. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards, good for his Saints first down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Jameis now on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Being chased out left. And Winston lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a first down carry is Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And Marquell Lee with his stop defensively. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mariota. Screenplay set up for Williams. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Mariota on first down. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
They certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit.
Touchdown! Damian Williams with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons are an extra point away from evening this one up. In the second quarter, and already his second touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Coup now for the point after. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And we see James. He will now return it and bring it out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their deep.
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mariota now after the fumble recovery. Mariota so nimble, sliding to the ground with a first down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Mariota. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
To throw Mariota. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Offense.
So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Throwing is Mariota. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Throwing, Mariota. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. Touchdown, Falcons! Damian Williams on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now See on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. To throw, Winston. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing again on second down. Winston. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Final play of the half here, Mariota. And now look at this, big gain but a fumble. And this one will actually go out of bounds, so no recovery. And that is how we conclude this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it was the Packers who get the win at home. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Trey Lance leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to Southern California to check on the Rams at home at SoFi Stadium. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And you can see they've had tremendous success running the football. Close to 200 yards total, with the third and fourth quarters still to come. Meanwhile, for the Saints, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here. Taken in at the 3. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them, too.
And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Really down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On third down, Mariota. Caught left side, Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
The Falcons send out their punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. On the return, it's James. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. He'll start with a give to Kamara. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
A 10th carry for Kamara, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside, but he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's got some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 81 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Again, it's Williams. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Williams will score. Touchdown, Atlanta. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. That time a 6-play drive. And in the end, it was all capped off by the Damian Williams touchdown run.
Younghoe Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd and 7, Winston. Olave holds it in. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Jameis to throw it. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 12 more yards there and another first down. Here's Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. All fumbles are costly, but that one really hurts because he had the first down.
Yeah, that's all he needed, right? But the problem is we coach these guys to try and get more, but that doesn't count if you don't bring the ball with you, does it?
Here's Damian Williams making his way back out. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. The busy night continues for Williams. And he powers his way up past the 30.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that. And that really chips away at your confidence.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
We're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Off the play fake, Winston. Got an open man, it's Olave. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down. They needed 3, he doubled that, he got 6. A busy night continues for Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Winston throwing middle, and it's complete. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A 1st down throw for Winston. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Winston. Thomas brings it in. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 32-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston, the pass caught by Olave.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was what's commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Saints have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that big-time drive right there? If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there. They went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Now, I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
2nd and 5. Mariota. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you got a battle on your hands.
And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And some room to roam now. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 31 yards there and a first down.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the fourth quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a second and goal.
This is where coaches have to spend a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? The clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key touchdown!
Brian Edwards.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Falcons look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done, because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Winston and the Saints now
Down by 2 touchdowns, 2:06 to play. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Jameis now on 1st down. Ebron caught left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. 1st down, Winston.
Pass complete, Thomas. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Now Jameis trying to hurry his crew to the line. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Jameis again. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Extra point up and good by Succop. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it all culminates in the Saints touchdown. And this is going to be covered up by the Falcons. And that should just about seal it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back.
Unfortunately, they couldn't get him.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. I have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring, and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for Atlanta, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for New Orleans next week against the Green Bay Packers.